Hi guys, Nomis here. Welcome back to Northam City for episode 11. In this episode, I'll be doing a few different things. Filling in some gaps in the central parts of Astoria with offices and historical buildings. I'll also start developing on the other side of the elevated highway, as well as underneath it, towards the border of Oakland. And the main part, I'd say, would be the start of a new elevated metro line. And towards the end I'll make some changes to the look of the elevated lines. But what I'm doing first here is making an office complex, which I imagine is like a northeast headquarters for Apple. One main office building with logos and animated billboards, with two towers across the road behind it. To make it a complex, I connect all three buildings with some sky bridges. For the main building, I want to give it some more importance by adding some nice brick surfaces around it. A few extra details will be some retail and restaurants on the ground floors of the office buildings. I think the empty space under the highway is perfect for some simple surface parking lots, and I'd also like to add some small light industrial buildings. Just what I think makes sense for the area. Heading back to the empty lots in central Astoria, there's two historical buildings I'm putting in. The old courthouse and City Hall. These date back to when Astoria was a separate city, before it was incorporated into Northam City. But they are still used as a courthouse and a so-called borough hall. So they are still very much in use today for the criminal court and local politics. Both of the buildings are making some nice park areas around them. And this is pretty much inspired from similar buildings I've seen all around America, especially in the Northeast. I imagine these park areas see lots of use both from employees in the buildings and residents in the neighborhood.
Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Yeah. Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route.
A little detail I wanted to add along the highway was a bunch of these billboards, which I think adds a lot of realism when you drive past on the highway. To fill out some more empty blocks, I decided to build 2 different car dealerships, and around them I put a bunch of surface parking and plopped down a lot of car props which belong to the different car dealerships. I'm pretty sure I've seen car dealerships in similar locations around Brooklyn, sometimes even squeezed right beneath the highway. The Volkswagen dealership had a visible but empty interior, which was perfect to add some extra details. First I do a PO cube with a concrete texture and color it. This will be the base for the walls to what I imagine is the sales office of the dealership. To get this look, I placed a few door props on this wall I created. And off to the back I also put in a door which leads to the bathroom of the dealership, indicated by some writing on the door. And lastly I just add a few more car props that are on display inside the dealership. Further down the road I start building some new neighborhoods, just to get a feel of what this area will look like. I'm using a lot of the same buildings I've used before, trying to mix it up and adding some more ground floor shops for the mixed use look. I have this really nice high school asset from Toronto. It really looks like it could be some kind of private school. That is what my lore is for it in Northam anyways. To give it some importance, I push it back quite a bit and give it its own small entrance road, separate from the avenue. Later I'll cover this road in cobblestone to give it a historical look. I won't finish detailing it right away, but the important things are planters and brick surfaces and some nice iron gates to an auto area at the back. Along this avenue, I'm starting to build what will be a new part of the metro network with some new lines. It's going to be a quad-tracked elevated line. On the inner tracks, the 2 train will be running, making express stops, while on the outer tracks, the 3 train will be running, making all stops. The services might split off at some point, but at least through this avenue and going into Manhattan, they will run together on this quad-tracked line. So I should probably talk a little bit about how I'm building this quad-track line in-game. First I start by doing a double track centered right above the avenue, using the parallel tool in Network Multitool. You'll see I remove the pillars in network skins, and that's because I will be doing pillars using IMT and props. I've downloaded the Highline asset, which has some amazing pillars, both in building and prop version. Using IMT, I put some of the wider pillars from the pack, with about 15 meters between them, as this is what I measured the normal distance to be on elevated lines like this. And to measure this, I just went into Google Maps and used the measure tool which they have. After doing this, I can use the parallel tool to run one-way single tracks on both sides of the double track and remove the pillars, and they will rest on top of the wide pillars I placed using IMT. Some places the line will intersect with the 4th train, where I need to raise the tracks up to pass over it, and I make sure to get a nice decent gradient using the slope tool in Network Multitool. On at least one of the spots they intersect, I'll be building a transfer station where all 3 services stop, meaning the 2, 3 and 4 train. But that will be sometime in a future episode. I mentioned at the start that the look of the elevated lines will see some changes, but that isn't until the very end of this episode, so stay tuned for that. To get started on this new elevated line, I'll be building 2 new stations. There won't be a whole lot around them just yet, but that will come eventually. The first station is Ocean Avenue Station. This will be a local station, meaning only the 3 train will stop here. The 3 train is a service running on the outer local tracks, which stops at every station along the line. I'm taking a lot of details from the 4 train stations, but the layout will be quite different. For this station there will be 2 side platforms on the edge, while in the tracks carrying the 2 train will run right past this station. Because of this layout, you need to make sure you get up the stairs on the right side of the road for the direction you're going at. With signage on every entrance will make this very clear, indicating both the line and the direction. The next station is New York and Chicago Avenue Station, which is an express station, meaning both lines will stop here. In order to make this work, I'll bend the outer local tracks off to the side a bit and make space for the platforms between. This station will have 2 island platforms, where both lines share platforms for the same direction. If you want to, you can then easily hop off and switch between local and express service if you want. The path and stair design becomes a little more complex for this station. I'm dragging a concourse, as you call it, going underneath both platforms, and then building stairs down to the street, as well as up to both the island platforms. This means that for passenger it is much easier to navigate, as everything is connected and it doesn't matter which side of the road you enter a stair set. I experimented a little in IMT, as I wanted to have the station fully covered for passengers, and found a design where both the outer tracks and island platforms were covered with their red roofs, with the walls on the outside of the local tracks. I realized later I need to scale them up a bit to make the trains fit under the roof, but I managed to adjust this later, and I really like the final look of it. Now I want to jump back to the highway and utilize some of the empty space under it. The first thing is just a simple fenced-in parking lot for police vehicles. Pretty simple, but I think it's a realistic use, which adds some detail. Next to the police vehicle lot is one of the larger homeless camps. It's a fenced-in area which used to be a paid parking lot. There was never really much security here. A lot of homeless people started breaking in and starting sleeping here, as it provided shelter, being under the highway. At some point this just became a crime hotspot, which the city gave up on and allowed the homeless to take it over. Nowadays you can barely tell it used to be a parking lot, only some faded markings left in a few spots. To build this I'm using an asset I made in the asset editor. It's just a simple park asset, with some tents and a bunch of trash props, really. Perfect for detailing areas like this. Right next to Ocean Avenue Station, I reserve an area for some recreation. A few sports park, a skate park and some playgrounds. So now I'm gonna go into what I talked about earlier, changing the look of the elevated part of the metro network. First, I just want to say I really love the BM metro networks, and I will keep using it for the underground part of the metro and ground level tracks, which is mostly within the yards. But these networks I am upgrading to here looks a lot more like the elevated tracks you'll see around New York and Chicago. I've seen this before and wanted to use them, but I had only seen them used as part of the Metro Overhaul mod. A mod that I never used because it apparently got some problems and isn't really needed anymore. However, I discovered someone made versions of the tracks from the mod which you can use without the mod. I subbed to all of the different classic Metro tracks, and this will be what I use for the elevated Metro from now on. I also want to mention a little detail I'll be adding to all my stations at the end of the platform. This is a sign found around New York subway stations. It's basically a warning sign telling you not to walk on the tracks. I made this asset myself and you can find it in the workshop. I might make some more simple props like this when I see something that I want to use in the city. Finally, I want to touch on another part of the Metro network that I am changing, and that is swapping out some of the entrances. There are these great New York subway entrances on the workshop, but they have normal underground tracks attached to them, and I only want to use them as entrances and connect up to the BM Metro stations that I use. I took this into the asset editor to make some changes. What I did first was remove the tracks and then add some invisible tunnel paths, which are included in the BM Metro collection. This pushed up the terrain a lot because the paths didn't go very far down, and that's just how the game works. To cover this up, I added some clipping surfaces. This does mean I need to sometimes cover up with ploppable surfaces, but it's not really a big problem. I am also covering up the station names with my own signs made with PO. I'll still use some of the BM Metro entrances, but these are great as they have a much smaller footprint, and I can squeeze them onto sidewalks, like you can see all over New York. Anyways, that is it for this episode. I really hope you enjoyed it if you made it this far. And I really appreciate it if you watched to the end. A like, subscribe and comment would be greatly appreciated and help me grow the channel. I do also have a Patreon page in case you'd wish to support me further. Have a great rest of your day, hope to see you in the next one, and stay tuned for some cinematics.
Yeah.
Steel veins run beneath my boots, feel the rhythm in the track. Sirens sing lullabies, harmony with heart attacks. Neon flickers on the pavement where the ghosts roam free. Every alley got a story, every block got beef. We don't sleep, we just blink slow in Northam haze. Clock hands break dance, trapped in time's maze. Rats race for crumbs, kings fall for pride. But I spit truth loud on the Northam side. Northam nights where the sky bleeds chrome, where the strong write verses in a world of stone. Dreams get mugged if you walk them alone. But I'm home in this monochrome zone. Northam fights born to rise through smoke, where the hope's thin threaded but it never broke. Yeah, we carve our names in the steel and bone. Cause I'm home in Northam's tone. Check the skyline, jagged teeth on a concrete face. Power moves in silence, truth move at a different pace. Graffiti prophets spray prayers on train cars. Hustlers play symphonies with old crowbars. Street lights flicker like they speak in code. Gutter kids rhyme pain like it's Morse in mode. Raised on the stoop, baptized in flame. This city got many masks but one true name. From the docks to the heights to the court in the crawl. Every borough breathes secrets behind each wall. Corner ciphers spark like flint in the dark. And the youth spit dreams sharp as shanks in the park. Cops roll slow, I stick with doubt. While the mayor sells hope, but we know the route. It's a chessboard city, every step's a plan. I ain't a pawn, I'm the hand that moved the man. Now my pen bleeds ink like the sewers leak grime. In a place where a dime dream cost you your prime. But I rise like steam from the subway floor, and my bars hit harder than a civil war. I got love for the city, like a bruised brother. Even when it hurts, we still hold each other. Northam raised me, now I raise it back. One verse, one life on this endless track. Northam nights where the sky bleeds chrome, where the strong write verses in a world of stone. Dreams get mugged if you walk them alone. But I'm home in this monochrome zone. Northam fights born to rise through smoke, where the hope's thin threaded but it never broke. Yeah, we carve our names in the steel and bone. Cause I'm home in Northam City of 1,000 scars, 1,000 sounds. But we don't break, we bend and rebound. Through the smog, through the fight, through the static drum. Northam calls me back and I